Man, what do I do for a cold intro for Bad Boys for Life? Oh, you hear that? Yeah.
No, never.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What's up, guys? Welcome to Movie Importance movie review of Bad Boys for Life, the third movie in the Bad Boys franchise that is not directed by Michael Bay anymore. It's actually, he went and did Six Underground. This time it's directed by Adil Arbi and Fallah, and it stars Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Joe Pantoliano, Paola Nuñez, Kate Del Castillo, Jacob Scipio, Alexander Ludwig, Charles Melton, Vanessa Hudgens, and Nicky Jam. So it's been 17 years since Bad Boys 2 came out in theaters, and that's a long time for a franchise to basically be dormant. I mean, it just doesn't happen anymore. It was one of those franchises we didn't think we were going to get another movie for. There's been like 12 directors attached to this project. And it was just something that, maybe it'll come out, maybe it won't. It's one of those Half-Life 3 situations where it may happen, it may not. And you know what? Here we are, 2020, and we have Bad Boys for Life. And this movie is interesting because, Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2 are always about the chaotic nature of two guys who create so much destruction but have a compassionate bond for one another, and they are very good at what they do, but they are very outlandish. Marcus, who is Martin Lawrence's character, is very just like, he wants to be with his family, and he's getting pulled into these crazy situations with Mike, who is played by Will Smith. And that is leading to this movie, which is about how far can you take your life in your situation, and how long can you do that? Because once you get to a certain point in your life, like Marcus is in this movie where he has a grandkid finally, and Mike doesn't want to deal with that. He wants to keep going, and you can't keep going forever. It just doesn't happen. You get old, everything about you kind of just becomes non-existent because technology gets more advanced, the people around you get more advanced in what they're doing, and you're just looked upon like a old cowboy in a way. Mike's an old cowboy at this point. So we get into this situation where we have a cartel, and the cartel is trying to take down the people that have wronged them. This mom who has a history with certain characters in this movie is basically using her son to basically take down the people that, one, put her in prison, and two, so they can, basically rise up and be the cartel in Miami, because this movie, of course, takes place in Miami. And we have Mike, who is not willing to accept that he just needs to retire and move on. And we have Marcus, who just wants to be done with it. And that makes for a very interesting movie. It doesn't make for the greatest movie in the world, but it makes for a very intriguing movie about a franchise that's all about action and blowing stuff up and chaotic nature, which this movie has in spades. But that makes this movie kind of enjoyable. Like, it actually makes it really enjoyable because it gives it stakes, it gives it morality, it gives it just a really fascinating look at two characters that we've come to love and just adore to no end. I mean, look at Martin Lawrence, who's kind of been out of the radar for a long time. So this movie, him coming back for it, really shows there's a lot of chemistry between these two guys, and it really, really shows. And I love how this movie how it plays forward, how it shows that morality take, and it's a great movie to watch. And then you have the explosions, you have the action, you have the multiple amounts of language, and you have this group called AMMO, which is the technology advanced portion of the Miami-Dade Police Department. And there's these three kids, they're like young people in their early 20s. And then you have Rita, which is kind of the love interest for Mike. And they're a fascinating group of people because Alexander Ludwig is that guy who's looks like he's very brooding. He looks like the guy who can punch people, but he's like a timid, computer whiz, and it's a lot of fun. And I guess Vanessa, I didn't realize it was Vanessa Hudgens as the female soldier in this movie, which is awesome. I think that's kind of hilarious and kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, to see the transformation of what Mike has to deal with in this movie and what Marcus has to make him feel is a lot of fun, because when you see them get into the situations, and there's a lot of cool situations, a lot of cool set pieces, it makes it for a really good time at the theater. It kind of gives it like a level of sincerity and a level of gravitas that you're not really expecting out of this movie. And I give a lot of credit to the directors, because they're doing what they do. They're doing the action that, Michael Bay is known for, but they're giving characters real substance, and that's pretty impressive. I mean, I give it a lot of credit just for that. Now I will say that the villains are kind of one note, and then the revelation that comes up is a little too far-fetched and is too out there. But the fact that, the way the main characters sell it and the way they play out and the set pieces, there's some really cool set pieces. There's one involving a motorcycle with a sidecar that's a lot of fun with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, and that's some good stuff. The set pieces are there, the action sequences are there. There's a really fun action sequence at the very beginning that leads into some really great moments. But this movie's also really funny. The chemistry, like I said, makes it that for that reason of being funny. And the fact that, you're having a good time while you're watching this movie, even though the plot holes and the editing problems are there. I really enjoyed the movie. I had a lot of fun with it. It's definitely a recommend for, especially if you like Bad Boys. I'm not like the hugest fan of Bad Boys, but I really found something truly remarkable about this movie for what it's doing. I mean, it's an action movie in the middle of January, so I've heard people say this should have been put in the summer, and I kind of agree with that. Will Smith has been on kind of a downtrend, with like Gemini Man and stuff like that. So it's nice to see him kind of be pulling up and kind of giving some, real gravitas to his situation. That's a lot of fun. And DJ Khaled's in this movie. If you like DJ Khaled, he has a kind of a fun moment that I think is a cool payoff for his character. And it does go, like I said, into some places and some weird moments. And, you see the cityscapes of Miami, which is a beautiful looking city from the outside. I've been to certain places in the city now that I've never been to before when I've seen the other two movies. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think Jerry Bruckheimer pops up in this movie, or it's either Jerry Bruckheimer or Michael Bay. I think it was Jerry Bruckheimer. But that was a big fun sequence. And just to see the two characters, Mike and Marcus, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence be able to play these characters once again is just, you're going to have a lot of fun watching this, and you're just going to enjoy the ride while it is. And it does lead into possibly another sequel, which is what they're entailing. And that's what Will Smith and Martin Lawrence kind of want, is another sequel. So as long as this movie is successful, bring it on, and so on and so forth. And like I said, there are no spoilers. It's a good time in the theaters. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my take on Bad Boys for Life. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this movie, what you think of Bad Boys franchise to begin with. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Like I said, I enjoyed this movie. So, but anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, join Movie Emporium, hit that little notification bell at the top to find out what's coming next. And of course, comment below on any video that you see on my channel. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for checking out Movie Emporium. I really appreciate it. If you want to, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification button and the bell at the top. Find out what's coming next for Movie Emporium. Also, check out these two videos. They're amazing. I think they're awesome. I think you'll enjoy them too. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.